at Metropole TV KE across all your social media platforms. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. Welcome to your official sector trends this morning. Let's get on it. We are in a space where great visuals and images sell a business without having to ask what it does. And this is very important for any business in marketing itself. I mean, yearning for growth. Today, we're looking at how one can create unique marketing content and especially how to go about it. And joining us in the studio is David Olelo, who is the founder Knifefluence, whose main goal is to help clients with exactly that, creating a story with images. David, welcome to Metropole TV.
Thank you for having me.
Let's first understand, who is Knifefluence?
Well, again, Knifefluence is a self-service marketplace that helps brands look for everyday customers who are willing to celebrate them with creative content. They can do this in easy steps, whereby they just submit a brief to our pool of community of creators, and then they respond to this brief with videos that the brand can decide to either license and use for their social media marketing or just do away with it.
I like the way you're saying it, that creative content. Just before we know and exactly how to go about that, is that now a necessity for a business in this age, that you gotta be in the creative content section if indeed you're going to raise the client's attention?
Definitely.
Yes.
And right now we live in the advent of internet, meaning everybody is going to be online. In 2020, about half of the internet users were online on social media apps, and most of them are actually looking for brand information on these channels. And this provides a good opportunity for the brands just to maintain their presence there, meaning they can actually even source better clients through these channels.
Right, now let's talk about then how, as a company, I would want to know what sort of creative content, what sort of imagery I need to sell my story. How do I know that?
Well, this should be content that actually engages the customers. And one of the things you'll see right now as a trend is influencer marketing has really grown, because influencers position themselves in a way they can actually or authentically create a connection between the brand and the community of people who follow them. And brands could actually take advantage of this, meaning even if when an influencer promotes a product, the brand comes as an afterthought, meaning the consumer is actually engaged and they're better placed to actually even connect with the brand more.
I like the way you're saying it. It is creative content. It's not just content, is it? That even when you're advertising, it's got to be creative content.
That engages with it.
Why that line of content and creative content? Some people like to think, well, if my products are good, I really do not have to get into that creative space. I just gotta give them information. So
you look right now, especially now with the trends, we are moving to whereby most of the internet users will be a generation, let's say Generation Z or millennials. Traditional channels or traditional ways of thinking on how you could connect to the customers or this pool of people is different, because these are more people who are tech savvy. They move with trends. They want to understand what's in the product before they even get to purchase it. And realize traditional channels were mostly based on what the brands wanted to communicate to the consumers and not what the consumers actually wanted to know. So you see, for example, what we do at Knifefluence, we actually give power to the consumers, because see, right now everybody's connected with a smartphone, and this provides a big pool whereby brands themselves could actually source creative content for the people who actually consume their products. And see, this comes in because, for example, let's say I'm recommending a product, even as of word of mouth, I'm better placed understanding what the brand, how you use it, what it entails, and if I recommend it to another person, it's going to be authentic. That's what influencers do.
Pretty much. Right, so let's go back to Knifefluence then, David, this morning. Is it you have a pool of content that then these companies can tap into, or indeed what you're doing is that then you are telling these companies, we are your content creators, we can actually give you the ideas and give you this content that you can use to sort of engage your clientele?
Sure. What we do as Knifefluence, we provide the platform because we are a technology platform.
Yes.
So what we do is we provide features whereby brands go to our services and submit a brief. So this brief goes to the content creators via a mobile app. So once a content creator goes through the brief and understand what the brand is looking for, they then respond to the brief via the mobile app. They can take a photo or submit a video, and this goes to the brand's mailbox or on our backend, goes to their inbox, and the brand can get to filter the type of content they prefer or like. And if they like, they can buy it or license it to use on their, let's say, billboards or the social media. If they don't like it, they don't buy it.
So you're sort of the in-between, isn't it? Between this company that might not necessarily even know what they really want and this influencer or this content creator who says, I'm a content creator and I'm trying to market myself. Is that what Knifefluence is then, David?
Yeah.
Yes.
So on one end, we have the content creators or the influencers.
Yes.
On the other side, we have the brands.
I see.
So basically what we do, we connect them, and this is super, super easy. For example, if you look at what a brand might use in terms of cost, in terms of like putting an advert or getting like a macro influencer, compared to what they can do coming to our platform and sourcing for micro influencers or ordinary consumers who actually consume the brand's products. It's operational. First of all, the operation ROI is basically we cater for that.
Yes.
Plus, imagine yourself as a brand getting numerous content from different influencers or content creators compared to you just getting like one content from one influencer. So for example, in one quarter, you could have content that you could just like use every day, sourced from different people.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I know you're selling this idea.
Yeah.
And we as an economy, David, have been sort of accused for being slow to respond to these changes that we're actually seeing within the economy.
Yeah.
How would you rate the response since Knifefluence started up to where you are right now?
Yeah.
Are the brands and companies sort of coming in and saying, well, there's a solution here. Can we tap into this?
Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the things we actually look ourselves as an influencer is we act as a stock library for a brand, meaning they can come and just get like numerous or tons of content tailored to their specific brand. And with this, we've gotten like, for example, right now, as we are also in the process of launching our beta platform, we have brands that have come to us and actually like ran campaigns. So we actually have two types of campaigns. We have an influencer campaign and we have a content campaign.
Yes.
Now they're pretty much the same, but the difference is once a brand gets content from a creator, they can choose to ask that creator, for example, if the creator has a following on social media, they can actually ask the creator to repost that content to their followers. Or if they just want content that they want to use on their channels, they can take it as a content campaign. So for the brands that we're already running campaigns with, we are actually seeing like some good feedback.
Yes.
For example, case in point, like there's a smartphone company that ran a campaign for us, and we got numerous content which is authentic from people who are actually customers of that brand, compared to, let's say, I'm just a random person who doesn't even consume your product. You can't ask me to just recommend your product if I don't even know how it works.
Yes. So let me also understand. So how do you sort of categorize then who an influencer is? Because I listen to you, I say this could spread even to an ordinary customer or has this product and says, well, I got a couple of followers, let me also tap into what Knifefluence is trying to do. How do you categorize who your influencer is? Because then if it's got to be creative content that touches a lot of people, then that definition of an influencer also has to be totally different from your end. Yes.
So I understand, like out there you might get a different description of who an influencer is.
Yes.
But for us as Knifefluence, we have, for example, in our community, we have two different types of people.
Yes.
So the influencer and the who is just a random creator. So the influencer, we consider this person who has a following of about 3,000 following on the social media, and then a creator doesn't even have to have a social media account. It can be a photographer who is good at taking photos and videos, and see, for a brand, they can actually tap into that photographer and get some quality images that they can even use for a billboard.
Yes. So that's it. If you got 3,000 plus, then you qualify to be an influencer, especially from Knifefluence sort of perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. And does this also then mean that a brand or a specific company can have the ability to even have 100 influencers if they want?
Definitely.
Yes.
So
would you say that's a bigger reach as opposed to this one influencer probably who has 500,000?
So look at this, yeah?
Yes.
For a brand to actually get on board that influencer who has about 500,000 following, it's going to be expensive for them. So look at, if you bring that budget to Knifefluence and we break it down to, let's say, 100 micro influencers who are going to be talking about your product, it's going to be a bigger reach for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is that an option that majority of the companies have been taking as opposed to working with one, isn't it?
We're actually seeing most brands right now going the route of actually getting on board more micro influencers than just using one influencer, because one of the things we're actually seeing, instead of just like taking one content out there from one influencer, you can actually source more than 100 contents from different people, and you can actually get them talking, meaning you can even get your product trending from just one campaign.
Yes. Yeah. Fantastic. All right, let's talk about this other person who's the content creator in this chain for Knifefluence. I might be very good probably at taking pictures, isn't it? I might be very good at creating videos, but I might not necessarily know what is in the market or what this brand is looking for. Must I do something for this brand for me to qualify to work for them?
Not necessarily.
Yes.
Look at your daily life, yeah?
Yes.
Every day you might be, let's say, even when you're out with your friends, you're out with your family, you usually take selfies. If you go through your feed of your photos, you might actually see you're actually taking products, actually taking branded content that brand could actually come and buy from you. For example, let's say you're just there outside with your family drinking, let's say, a soft drink, and you take a selfie. That particular selfie, if you upload it to Knifefluence and let's say under a brand brief, and that brand actually looks at it and they're interested in it, they could actually buy it from you or license it from you and use it for their own channels.
Oh, I see now. So if I'm good at content creation, then I would do that and then upload that, which sort of acts as my profile on Knifefluence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So for me to be considered to be a content creator. Fantastic. And a company can actually look at it and then say, we need something like this, or we like this, could we license it and take it aboard?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. So now let's talk about the whole story about this. Some companies already have a rich story. I mean, some brands will say we've integrated ourselves within families, within businesses. We feel like we're already there. This content, to what level does it push it to further tell their story? You're saying that through images and videos are the only way that you can tell your proper story.
Yeah.
To what level then? Because I think most people will tell you, David, I mean, for us, it is what we are doing for them directly, other than us telling it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So actually, as I mentioned before, we are in the advent of technology.
Yes.
And one of the things, many mediums have popped up in the marketing industry or the advertising industry.
Yes.
For example, okay, right before, traditionally we used to have like newspapers, television, and those kind of things. Right now we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Twitter. And for these brands that want to remain relevant, especially for this current demographic, they have to be active on these channels.
Yes.
And one of the things we're actually seeing with Knifefluence, brands want to adapt, because you see, these mediums have actually solved the problem of distributing content to these demographics.
Yes.
But one of the things that no one has actually solved is how this content is actually created. And that's what we are doing as Knifefluence. So meaning we're actually giving brands to be in a better position to be relevant, especially on channels like that have popped up like TikTok. Many brands didn't have a clue on how they could actually create content for these channels.
Yes.
But if you can source content from your consumers who can be even more creative than how you could be, then it gives you to be better like relevant in this current demographics.
Fantastic. You're sort of like a one-stop shop
for
these brands and the content creators who actually want to tap into this space. Fantastic. So let's talk about who Knifefluence is really for. And I'm asking this from this perspective, David. Smaller businesses who might be struggling with a budget. is this the place for them, especially when they want to maybe advertise for the cheap or create this content on the cheap, and I would like to say on the easy side as well?
So one of the benefits we like that we have as Knifefluence is the brand. Our purpose is just to connect the brand and the content creator.
Yes.
Meaning even our fees, we don't charge like as per, let's say, depending on the content that you get, we don't actually charge you for that. We just connect you with the content creator, and from there, the content creator can, when they're submitting their content, they can actually tell you like, hey, I'm sending this photo to you and I'm gonna quote a certain price for you.
Yes.
So for us as Knifefluence, we just provide the platform.
Yes.
Yeah. So even if it's a small business that wants to get content through our channels, depending on whatever budget they have, they can go to the platform, indicate the budget they have, and when that campaign goes live to the content creators, after the budget is exhausted, depending on the content that the business are gotten, that campaign is going to end.
Yes.
So meaning everybody is going to benefit.
So on the get-go, everybody knows exactly how much brand A has or how much code has been given around this area, isn't it? So Knifefluence then, what's your take out in terms of your fee?
So for us, we're just acting as an intermediary.
Yes.
So we just charge the brand a commission to activate the campaign to the content creators.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. So let's talk about where you are now heading with Knifefluence. How long have you been in business?
So funny story here is we've been, right now, this is our 4th month.
It's and our 4th month.
Yeah, and we're already getting some positive traction.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to go back there because this is the 4th month in a business.
Yeah.
I think I would have started like this then. David, what was behind this whole idea of saying we need to get into this space and connect these brands with the content creators as well?
Well, this comes back from my personal story because I've been in the creative industry myself. I'm a graphic designer. And one of the challenges I've had personally was creating content for some of the clients I've had. So for example, on a daily basis, a client will task you like, hey, I want to push like my information about my brand on a daily basis. But one of the challenges you'll have, for example, like people who work in agencies, is sourcing that content and promoting the brand. So one of the things that we actually thought as Knifefluence is why could we just like come up with a solution whereby we could make the future of marketing come from user-generated content, and that's what we're trying to do as Knifefluence.
Yes.
That's actually our vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you feel, from the way you said it this morning, that the level of content creation now, because of social media, is you say that as a business you don't have to take that course by yourself, that indeed we are at that level now because of technology and smartphones and everything that is in this space, that you can get professional content that you can actually use as a company without really having to blow out your budget?
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm already seeing this with influencers. For example, if a brand is bringing a new product to the market, you'll actually seeing them tapping into influencers, different influencers who will actually get the conversation going about your brand.
Yes.
And right now, apart from now the influencing, we are now getting into user-generated content where you can actually create conversations from consumers who are actually using your products.
Fantastic. Yeah. I keep on asking everybody who started a business in 2020, 2021, I would ask them, was it because of coronavirus that you realized that indeed there was something that we needed to do here because of what it did, especially for a local economy? There was that need for us to stress on the importance of us being online. The technology stress did you get a spark from 2020?
Yes, definitely. One of the things we realized, as I mentioned before, in 2020, about half of the internet users were actually active on social media and messaging apps. And actually with this, a lot of brands, a conversation was going online whereby consumers were actually looking for brand information online. So one of the things how we position ourselves as Knifefluence is, one, we are a technology platform, and then we are also a creative platform, meaning we've adapted to what the market wants, especially now with the demographics right now.
Yes.
So we position ourselves in a better way to actually give brands a better solution whereby they can actually remain relevant in terms of just, getting their connections out there or connecting with consumers and actually winning something also from the consumers.
Fantastic. So anybody who wants to join Knifefluence, how can they do that?
So right now we have a sign up form on our website.
Yes.
That's Knifefluence.com.
Yes.
Where a brand can actually go online and submit some of their details, where after that we then connect and see how we can work together.
Is that the same thing as well for these content creators and influencers who want to be part of that?
So for content creators, we have our mobile application.
Yes.
That are currently right now it's live on Play Store.
Yes.
For iOS, it's going to come out soon. So for the content creator, all they have to do is to sign up. It's totally free. They just sign up and then browse through their brand briefs. And if they get to a brief that they can actually submit content for, they just do that and they get paid.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you this question as we come close to the end of this conversation this morning. It's been 4 months. You're saying with the way that you're seeing business going, you're actually upbeat about the direction that the company is taking now. Could you paint for me a picture, especially on your influence locally? I will talk about regionally as well, but that is for another day. In the next, 1 year, what do you forecast?
Well, our vision is to position ourselves whereby we want to make the future of marketing come from user-generated content.
Yes.
And what we are doing currently and how we are looking at the future is we're going to do different campaigns with different brands. Actually, one of the benefits we have is we fit different categories. Whether it's fashion, whether it's entertainment, whether it's food, we're able to do something for that category.
Yes.
And with this being a platform that just a technology, that's our focus. Provide a robust technology that can actually deliver towards our vision.
All right, finally, Dave, I mean, you are a youth who's into the technology space, and the government really has this stress on making business easier for you. I gotta ask you this question. It's been 4 months down the line. I mean, you've gone through a lot of process. I'd like to imagine for us to say that we have a working platform, we have a business that we want to continue expanding as well. Has it been easier for you?
Well, let's say it has been not so hard, not so easy.
Yes.
Well, the driving force is working hard towards it.
Yes.
Whatever challenges that come towards you, you'll always find a solution. And one of the things actually we do with Knifefluence is our vision drives us and motivates us. So whatever challenges or whatever limitations we get, we always find a solution to just get through it.
Fantastic. Yeah. David, thank you very much for taking time to speak to us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, he says that if you want to get part or to be part of that, they do have an app on Play Store that is at Knifefluence. And if you are also a brand that also wants to tap into this, you can actually get to knifefluence.com and get to sign just a short form. That's according to David. And then after that, you'll be also part of that story of wanting to change how marketing is viewed in the country. And from him, he's saying it's working, going by the response that is seen in the past 4 months. We take a short break right here on Business I Am. And the next conversation is Uhuru Kenyatta has just won a budget cycle. And this morning we did tell you exactly how much he wants to spend in that. 3.28 trillion, the biggest spending ever. But that is because of IEBC taking 16.5 billion. But the question is, out of 675 billion that he has to spend in the last year that he's in office, is that enough for him to come back and say, I have realized all the promises that I gave Kenyans back in 2013? Let's evaluate this man, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, once we come back here on a Business I Am. Good morning.